Hi, Andy Amrine. Welcome to Bethel Park TV Cable, and we're here for another segment of Around Town. And we're on the north side of Pittsburgh today, so we got a little bit out of our comfort zone from the South Hills, but came down to the north side, and we're at the National Aviary. We're here at the Aviary for a special event. This is going to be the unveiling of a picture commissioned by the Aviary from Jono Prasic, one of the Pittsburgh artists. So you got Pittsburgh artists, you got a Pittsburgh staple in the National Aviary. So I hope you enjoy the show. Sit back and enjoy. Thank you. Cheryl, beautiful facility you have here, National Aviary. Why are we here today? What is the special activity that we're here for?
Sure. So we're here today because we are kicking off our new season, Bringing Paradise to Pittsburgh. We are premiering a lot of new events for the winter season. We're hoping that people will get out of the cold and want to come to the Aviary, where we're going to give them a little bit of paradise here. We have our themed music and of course our decor. We have our beach balls and our penguin exhibit so that the penguins can play with the beach balls. We've got daily encounters with some of our tropical birds. We've got our Beaks, the premiere of our new show. Actually, it's premiering right now in the theater, live show with the Free Flight Birds, with a very theatrical performance with video, sound, lighting, where the birds will teach us in Beaks 2 how they use their beaks, other than just for eating. So it's a great show. It's fun and entertaining, very educational, and the whole season is filled with events just like what's happening this weekend. And we have Flamingo Fest coming up, President's Day weekend. And that's all about our flamingos. Guests get to walk with the flamingos as they mingle. We call it flamingle. And then as well, we have at the end of February, on February 27th, we have an evening event called Party in Paradise for over 21 crowd. And we have a new exhibit coming in our wetlands exhibit of the Ragiana Birds of Paradise. That exhibit will begin construction next week. So we're very happy to be bringing paradise to Pittsburgh, and we hope all these new and exciting things will just add to what we already offer here at the Aviary.
Yeah, it's jam-packed schedule, that's for sure. What's the mix bringing Jono, an artist, and so forth to the Aviary? Where does the two of them blend together? Why Jono? Why artwork at the Aviary?
Well, we had talked about bringing back a popular show called Wings and Wildlife. It was an art show that existed here back in the day, the late 80s, early 90s, into the 2000s. It was an annual thing where there was an art show featuring local artists all over around Pittsburgh, and they were set up around the Aviary. And for whatever reason, that discontinued over the years, and it was very popular. So we had been talking about bringing that back when I met Jono. And so when we started talking about it, we started getting really excited to bring back the art show. And as part of that discussion, we thought, well, wouldn't it be really great if Jono could do a painting of the Aviary? And he explained the story to me about how he met his wife here at that art show. So we just thought it was great, and so we commissioned him to do the painting, and we're just so happy. We think it really captures the vibrancy and the essence of what we are here at the Aviary. So excellent. We just have so many exciting things going on all the time. We are right now under construction. We're building a new exhibit for our condors. We have 2 breeding pairs of Andean condors. They're extremely endangered in the wild, and we're hoping with this new exhibit that we're going to bridge what we do. We have conservation field work in Ecuador to what we're doing here, and we're hoping that we'll be successful in the breeding efforts, but also that visitors will get to see these spectacular birds as they are portrayed on their natural cliffs, and we're really trying to transport people to Ecuador to see the Andean condor. So we're very excited about that.
Wonderful. Robin, why are we here today at the National Aviary? Why have you invited us?
Today is a really exciting day for the National Aviary. We had the opportunity today to unveil a painting that was commissioned by us from artist Jono Prasic. And it is a painting that represents what the National Aviary is. I think it represents very well the vibrancy of the National Aviary, the variety of bird species that we have here, and how beloved the National Aviary has been to the community over the years.
Okay, why Jono? Why artwork? What's the correlation here with the birds in the National Aviary and Jono and the artists?
Well, for many years, more than 20 years, we had an art show that was held here at the National Aviary called Wings and Wildlife. And a number of years ago, that went away for a period of time, and we really saw an opportunity in bringing the Wings and Wildlife Art Show back this year to the National Aviary. It was a very well-liked, well-attended art show. It was a wonderful way to connect people in the community to art and to wildlife. It is a themed art show around wildlife and nature. So all of the artists on display at the show are going to have a wildlife representation in their work. And we'll have artists from all mediums, you know, from wood carvings to paintings to maybe ceramics or textiles. But it is a juried show, so it's going to be a lot of high quality artists and just a wonderful chance for people to see a variety of the beauty of the artwork, and also to purchase some artwork if they'd like to.
The National Aviary, I mean, you've been in Pittsburgh how long? How long have you been part of our, do you know?
The National Aviary has been the National Aviary. We celebrated 20 years last year.
Okay.
It's been 62 years, though, that we've been a part of the Pittsburgh community. And we're so proud to be growing the way that we are. We're celebrating our second consecutive record year. So things are really exciting at the National Aviary right now, and it's a fun time to be a part of it.
Excellent. Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the National Aviary. I'm Cheryl Tracy, the Managing Director here. And today we're here to announce a couple of exciting things that are happening at the National Aviary. And we are kicking off our new season called Bringing Paradise to Pittsburgh. And we're kicking it off with the unveiling of this beautiful painting by Jono Prasek. And I really can't wait for everyone to see this. I also want to announce that we're bringing back a favorite art show that was part of the National Aviary history. We haven't done it in a few years, but in the 1990s and early 2000s, it was part of what the National Aviary did. And we will have that November 6th through November 8th. That weekend we'll kick off with a black tie soiree and our live art auction. We'll continue through the weekend with local artists, and we'll be featuring Jono Prasek and his wife as well, Maria, who is also here with us today for that show. So we're very excited to announce that. But at this time, I really want to talk about the painting, and I want to introduce everyone to Jono. Jono is a Pittsburgh native and a local artist who's well known for his work and his paintings of famous places and people and icons around the city of Pittsburgh. You may have seen his work on Sarah's Candy Boxes, on the set of Pittsburgh Today Live, and at Heinz Field. He also is famous for his vibrant paintings of nature. And in the last couple of months, Jono and his wife Maria have become good friends of the National Aviary. But they actually have a history that goes back quite a ways, and I'm going to let him talk about that. But it's really an honor for me to introduce to everyone Jono. We're just so proud of the painting that we're about to unveil. And without further ado, I would like to introduce everyone to Jono Prasek.
Hi folks, how are you? A new bird of a feather. This place is a treasure of Pittsburgh, as we know. I'm 55 now. I grew up in Dormont. I was the oldest of 6 kids. My parents we were down here in the late 60s and 70s. No other kid in Mount Lebanon or Dormont was coming down at the time. So what a wonderful memory. And I got yelled at over in the rainforest. There's them steps going down. My brothers and I, we went down them. So I thought it was a nun. I got a good talking to, but a little bit brief history. And so we go there, and you fast forward to 1988. They had a terrific art show called Wings and Wildlife. And I was set up in the back corner, and lo and behold, there was this beautiful lady in the marsh room that didn't have any doo-doo on her. And it's my future wife, Maria. So I came to the show to sell some paintings, but I left with a wife. So that's a Pittsburgh story. So thank you very much. And Maria, she's right over here. She's my soulmate, been tremendous, and she's one great artist herself, Maria's Ideas. And also, too, a little note, when I was growing up, I had 10 years, I suffered with colitis. We all have our stories, but I came down here a couple times with my parents. It was therapy for me when I had these bad attacks to watch the birds. So for me, it was a healing and a therapy process. So I wanted to add that to it. So it helped me out a lot. The last 2 years, we were just talking, maybe they bring the art show back. And now it's coming back, which is wonderful. So through this process, Cheryl, the aviary folks, they said, Jono, maybe you want to do a painting. I said, absolutely. So I always use sand from Monongahela. It's Pittsburgh, south side. And I use, the hardware store guys love me, I use quartz of latex enamel. That's my medium. I'm self-trained. I love it. And I always incorporate different kind of matter into my painting. So I got sand, grit, and dirt from the tropical forest. So in this painting, it's very organic and very spiritual. You have these things, these elements with the birds. So how cool is that? In the flamingo, you'll look, there's two hearts, secretly kind of painted. Look in the flamingo feathers when you guys get a chance. There's two hearts in there. And also I'm quite honored that I'm the featured artist with my wife in November. I couldn't ask for a better honor. I've been blessed here, and we love our city. And also the tremendous new artists we're going to meet, everybody's going to meet later in the year, whoever they are. What a great venue for what the aviary does. So I leave you with this. I did this on TV yesterday. This is my Slovak chicken. The Polish chicken back there is named Hilda. So I leave you with this. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jono. Before we get to the unveiling, I mentioned that we're kicking off a new season here, and I want to tell everyone a little bit about that. It's called Bringing Paradise to Pittsburgh, and it's sponsored by AAA Travel. And what it is that every day from now through March 9th at the National Aviary, there will be opportunities to get up close and personal with some of our tropical birds. Today we will have the premiere of a new show in our theater called Beaks, which will premiere a lot of our tropical birds flying overhead to the sights and sounds and theatrical performances where they are the actors and they teach us how they use their beaks. They're more than just for eating. We also have coming up our Flamingo Fest, which will be over President's Day, 3-day weekend, where it's all about our flamingos and getting up close with the flamingos. We have Party in Paradise at the end of February. It's an over 21 evening party. And the entire season will culminate with the addition of a new exhibit in our wetlands area, where we will be bringing birds of paradise to Pittsburgh. 3 Rajiana birds of paradise. We're starting work on that exhibit next week, and we're very excited. Everything will kick off this weekend, where we have added features, added activities. We're going to have sand art for kids, take-home crafts, special story times for toddlers with live birds, as well as, for the first time ever, we have students from the Bidwell Training Center, the Culinary Center, coming over here to create an edible enrichment arrangement for our birds, and that'll be done live here over the weekend. So at the National Aviary, it's all about connecting birds with people, and it's really all about the birds and the connections that we make. And there's really a vibrancy to that, and we feel that this painting really captures the essence of everything that the National Aviary stands for, and we're just so proud. So at this time, I'd like to invite Jono back up so that we can unveil the painting. And by the way, there are limited copies of this painting available. They're signed by Jono in our gift shop, and we also have postcards as well. So.
Slowly. You have to look, photo off, okay. There's pumpkin.
Ready?
Okay?
Okay. Oh. Sorry. I need a little help. Oh, wait. Ta-da! So at this time, please come up, take a look at the painting. We're inviting all of our special invited guests and media into the classroom for a special reception. Thank you very much for coming.
Tremendous event. I was commissioned by the Aviary. I did a painting of 10 of their birds, 4 feet by 5. It was unveiled this morning. It's quite an honor. It's hanging in a prominent place here. So they had me here as a guest.
Okay, was this your idea, or did they approach you, or you approach them? How did you get involved in this project?
It started years ago. I was a youngster. I grew up in Dormont. My family would bring my brothers and sisters here. We'd come here seeing the birds and all that. And then go back to 1988, there was a great art show called Wings and Wildlife. That's where I met my future wife, Maria. So I came to the art show to sell some paintings, and I left with a wife. So it's a good thing. And she's a great artist. Her name is Maria. Maria's Ideas. So the last couple years, the art show went away about a dozen years ago. So Maria and I were just talking to the board members and the people at the Aviary. Hey, you ever going to bring the show back? And they said, when we're done with some construction, we will. And so through that process, I got a commission out. They said, John, we see your work on Channel 2, Sarah's Boxes, and other things, and so we'd love to have you do it with your story and how you have passion for the Aviary. So it really is a magnificent, good thing that came out of that.
Hey, what can you tell us about the picture? How did you pick the individual birds that you have in the picture?
It's 10 birds. Originally we were going to go 5 or 6. The canvas is 4 feet by 5. We definitely wanted to do a little bit of everything. We weren't able to capture all the birds, but the penguins, the American eagle, like in honor of the Hayes Eagles, the flamingos, the crown pigeon. I didn't want to do a regular pigeon. Finches, macaws, and the owl is Halloween. So that we just picked them up, the photographs I took, and that was supplied to me, and we thought that would be a nice representation of all the birds here.
So these were birds that more or less spoke to you in some way that made you want to put them in there.
And they were colorful, and so I really didn't have to, my paintings are very colorful, but it was a natural progression to my painting, I thought.
Well, talk to me about the colors of the painting itself. I mean, it is a beautiful painting, a lot of vibrant colors. How do you pick the colors and everything that you use?
Well, in my studio, I open all my cans from the hardware store. I open them all up, and I just let the colors speak to me and whatever I'm doing at the time. So it was just out of my being, out of my skill.
How long did it take you to do this painting?
Once I figured out what I was going to do, and then the board had a general idea, I'd say 2 months. The actual work on it was maybe five weeks, so maybe a month to think about it and get my drawings together. So an actual month to paint it.
So it's not something that you just look at a canvas and an hour later it's done?
Not on this one.
Okay.
No, I could do abstracts. I've done that with other paintings, but this particular one, it was a lot goes into it, but it was worth it.
Okay.
It was
what
fun.
else can you tell us about the painting? You used some original products in that painting, though, didn't
Yes,
you?
I do. I always use sand from Monongahela River. That's one of my mediums. And I always use latex enamel quartz, and I always support my local hardware stores. That's what you do, support your local stores. So, and through that, whenever I get an interesting commission or something different, I said, well, is there something I can pull from the area? So, bingo, the tropical rainforest, I got sand, grit, and dirt from there. So I incorporate that element in with there, so it actually becomes more of an organic piece and more of a piece true to the place here.
Now, do you mix that with the paint before you paint, or is the paint on and then you add the other material?
It goes both ways with me, Andy. So just whatever at the time what I'm doing. So, but it's all incorporated in that painting, and it's there for a long time.
So what's next for you here at the National Aviary?
A great thing, they're bringing back the art show, Wings and Wildlife, this November, first weekend in November. And through all this, they named myself the featured artist. And also my wife, Maria, they named her a co-featured artist. So how cool is that? And I would have been in the show regardless. So they announced that today. There's going to be at least 40 artists invited. So that's wonderful to bring in this great Wings and Wildlife show back.
Now this will be just a one-night show?
No,
Or
it's,
one day, or
it's a 3-day show.
okay.
It's the
and
first
you
weekend
just
of
bring
November.
your artwork, and it'll be on display for those 3 days.
It'll be a juried show. So
Okay.
you obviously, I'm not sure who's going to jury it, and then they want a diverse thing from everything. So they're going to look at everything, and so I see it being a dynamite show because there's a bunch of new artists. And that could be younger, older, middle age. So, and how great our city is, man, this is going to be really a bang show.
It sounds like the event today and the events coming into the future. It's quite a plus for the
Right.
National Aviary.
Yeah.
So thank you for your support of that, and we love having them part of Pittsburgh and love having you part of Pittsburgh.
Well,
So
thank you.
Thank you very much for
Appreciate
the
you having me
invitation.
on. All right. Thank you, sir.
All right. Hope you enjoyed the segment of Around Town. There's an awful lot of very exciting events happening here over the course of the year at the National Aviary. I hope you enjoyed this segment. I hope you enjoyed the show. We have a future segment coming up about the entire aviary. So hope you enjoyed this segment, though, and see you here on the North Shore soon.